Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where you should probably remember which part of your body got an MRI, this is Ballot.
Happy December, everyone. Let's hit this. All right, gather round for the latest episode of Presidential Home Makeover Ego Edition. President Trump's decided the White House needs a ballroom so massive, it's like he's compensating for something other than just crowd size. Here's the deal. Trump's locked in an architectural showdown with his own hand-picked architect, James McCrary. Apparently, Trump wants a 90,000 square foot ballroom that would make the actual White House look like a garden shed. McCreary's sitting there thinking, "Sir, we're designing a historic landmark, not auditioning for Pimp My Presidential Residence." The project's got more drama than a Real Housewives reunion. Trump's micromanaging every detail. He's got a ballroom model in the Oval Office like it's his new favorite toy. And get this, he's funding it through a donor list that reads like a who's who of corporate America. Amazon, Lockheed Martin, Palantir, because nothing says patriotic contribution like tech giants and defense contractors throwing cash at a presidential vanity project. Senator Elizabeth Warren's not having it. She called out the whole circus, saying billionaires are basically writing checks to get a prime spot on Trump's good side. It's like a political version of buying backstage passes, except the backstage is now a 90,000 square foot ballroom. The best part? They haven't even submitted official plans to the National Capital Planning Commission. It's like trying to build an addition to your house without telling your homeowners association. Oh, this massive structure? It's totally fine, trust me. I mean, who needs transparency when you've got a vision, right? Trump's basically treating the White House like his personal real estate playground. Architectural norms, budget concerns, public input. Those are for people who don't have their name in gold letters. Trump's been posting cryptic updates on Truth Social like some kind of architectural soap opera villain. As long as we are going to do it, we are going to do it right, he declares. Right. Because nothing says presidential restraint like bulldozing historical architecture to build your personal Versailles. And get this, he's pressuring contractors to cut their prices. A firm originally quoted $3.2 million for excavation. Trump said, how about $2 million? It's like haggling at a used car lot, except the used car is the literal White House. Breaking news from the world of presidential productivity, or should I say presidential inactivity. The New York Times just dropped an investigative piece that's basically a detailed report card on President Trump's work ethic. And let me tell you, it's not exactly an A-plus performance. Turns out our commander-in-chief has cut his official appearances by 39%. 39%! That's not a schedule reduction, that's a schedule demolition. Remember when he used to mock Biden as Sleepy Joe? Well, the irony is thicker than the makeup he's using to cover those mysterious hand bruises. Let's break this down. Trump's official events now start after midday. After midday! I wake up earlier than the President of the United States. His day begins when most people are already planning lunch. And speaking of lunch, he's been caught dozing off at more events than a college lecture hall during finals week. Vice President J.D. Vance is out there claiming Trump doesn't sleep during 20-hour trips. Great. So instead of sleeping, he's, what? Scrolling Truth Social, plotting ballroom renovations? The man's got more energy for late-night social media posts than for actual presidential duties. One psychologist described Trump's speaking style as a stone skipping along water, jumping from one random thought to another. Translation, his brain is basically playing verbal pinball, and nobody knows where the ball's going to land. The White House's response? Classic deflection. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt basically said, "At least we're not hiding anything, right?" Because repeatedly closing your eyes during press conferences is totally transparent. And get this, he had an MRI recently, and when asked why, he basically shrugged and said the doctor called it the best result he's ever seen. That's not an explanation. That's what you say when you're trying to convince your mom you didn't break the vase. 79 years old, running the country, and his most consistent work seems to be applying concealer to cover up bruises and maintaining his social media brand. America, we've officially entered the era of presidential part-time. Trump is offering to release his MRI results, which apparently are as perfect as his self-assessment. When asked about the mysterious medical scan, Trump dropped this gem. It wasn't the brain, because of course he took a cognitive test and aced it. That's like me saying I aced my driving test right after backing into a fire hydrant. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, described the MRI as advanced imaging during a routine physical. Advanced imaging of what? Could be anything. Maybe they're checking if his ego can fit into a standard medical imaging machine. The most shocking part? Trump claims he has no idea what part of his body got scanned. I've had dental x-rays more thoroughly explained than this presidential physical. Hollywood's latest power move comes straight from the White House. And no, I'm not talking about that massive ballroom renovation. Melania Trump's decided to pivot from FLOTUS to film producer, and honestly, it's like a political version of a reality show pivot. Introducing Muse Films, named after her Secret Service codename. Because nothing says serious production company like naming your studio after a government nickname. I'm sure film executives are just lining up to take meetings. Her debut project? A documentary about the 20 days before Trump's second inauguration? 20 days? That's not a documentary, that's a really long Instagram story. And who's directing? Brett Ratner. Yes, the same Brett Ratner who's been about as welcome in Hollywood as a root canal. Paramount apparently agreed to distribute Rush Hour 4 after Trump personally requested it, because that's totally how movie deals work now. Amazon, bless their corporate heart, paid $40 million to stream this. $40 million. I've seen student films with more compelling narratives and significantly less baggage. The best part? This is happening while Trump's actually president. Most political spouses wait until after their term to start their entertainment empire, not Melania. She's like, why wait? Let's Hollywood this thing right now. It's like House of Cards met Real Housewives and had a very ambitious baby. Stay tuned, America. Your presidential entertainment is about to get very, very interesting. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI and an MRI.